Alright, I'm going to do a short intro. I'm working on the kind of Airbender cape that Aang wears a lot in the first season of Avatar The Last Airbender. I decided to go this route, even though it might not necessarily make the same shirt that he wears. But I'm pretty excited about it. This is going to be it was relatively simple for me to make, just following a circle skirt pattern and then making some modifications. So we'll get right into it. Following a circle skirt pattern that I found online, I created a paper pattern. There are plenty of these online for you to follow. I actually made a pattern for a half circle skirt, but ended up making a full circle skirt, so I had to make some adjustments later on. But here I am creating that pattern on some thrown together paper that I'll be using to cut out my fabric. I folded my fabric into quarters, so in half and then in half again, and then I set the pattern along the double folded edge and then the single folded edge, if that makes sense, and then pinned it down into place. I apparently forgot to turn my camera on while doing the actual cutting, but I did just cut out along the edge of the pattern that I had pinned on into place. Here's when I realized that I had used fabric for a full circle skirt, even though I used a half circle skirt pattern. I knew I'd have to adjust the neckline a little bit. Here I hemmed the bottom edge. I ended up not pinning it only because it was too many pins, so I just guided it with my fingers. My solution for the oversized neck was to create pleats, so I already pinned the pleats that will be on the front of the cape, and then these are the pleats that I'm making that are going to be on the back to make the neckline actually fit my neck. After making the pleats, I sewed just the pleats down so they were in place before moving on to the next step. Then I flipped the cape inside out and measured out a V-neck, so 1, it would fit over my head, and 2, it would just fall nicely on my body. After trying it on again to make sure everything fits well, I then pinned the neckline and sewed it into place. Next, I flipped it back inside out and measured for the front slit that the cape has, marked that, and then cut it, and pinned the hem into place. After I pinned it, I sewed the hem, though after sewing the hem and trying it on again, I realized you can't really see the slit when I'm wearing it, so I decided to flip it back inside out, pin the hem in, so at the bottom it was about 1 inch in, and then on a triangle going upwards to create more of an open V, and then I sewed that into place. Try-on, I realized that the shoulder pleats kind of stuck out at a weird angle, so I decided to pin those down and just tack them down. I didn't mind where the pleats were, they just puffed up a little bit too much, so I am putting it on and then hitting the pins where I want to put the little tacks. And finally, I used just the hand crank to go forward 4 stitches and backward 4 stitches twice on each of the tacks to put the pleats in place. Alright, so this is my final cape. I think it looks pretty good. You can see the pleats and where I pinned it here and over here. The front actually hangs open naturally, so I don't have to like keep moving it around. And then you can see the back. Pretty excited about this one. It's almost like cute enough to wear elsewhere too, which is pretty cool. I probably need to do some ironing or something to get some of the wrinkles out, but overall, pretty excited. These are the pants as a reminder, so the color scheme is very like, hey Duchess, very much in the Airbender color scheme, so pretty excited about this. And next is the shirt.